Isaac Newton, the legacy of a genius. Isaac Newton is widely regarded as one of the greatest minds in the history of science, shaping the world of physics, mathematics, and astronomy in ways that still resonate today. His genius was recognized not only by his contemporaries, but continues to be celebrated by generations that followed. Newton was born on December 25, 1642, at Woolsthorpe Manor, a quiet village in England. His discoveries would later change the course of science forever, starting with his groundbreaking work on the laws of motion and gravity. But beyond his scientific achievements, Newton's life and legacy are filled with fascinating stories, praises, and symbols of his impact on the world. The praise of a genius. One of the earliest and most notable admirers of Newton's genius was the mathematician and astronomer Joseph-Louis Lagrange, who once declared that Newton was the greatest genius who ever lived. Lagrange also remarked that Newton was fortunate, as it is rare to discover a system of the world, as he had done with the laws of nature. This admiration was shared by many others, including poet Alexander Pope, who wrote the famous lines, "Nature, and nature's laws lay hid in night. God said, 'Let Newton be,' and all was light." These words, though iconic, were not inscribed on Newton's tomb at Westminster Abbey. Instead, a Latin inscription was chosen to honor his accomplishments. The epitaph reads, "Here is buried Isaac Newton, knight, who, by a strength of mind almost divine, explored the course and figures of the planets, the paths of comets, the tides of the sea, the dissimilarities in rays of light, and, what no other scholar had imagined, the properties of the colors thus produced. He was diligent, sagacious, and faithful in his expositions of nature and the Holy Scriptures. Mortals rejoice that there has existed such an ornament of the human race." This inscription highlights his monumental contributions not only to science, but also to his theological studies. Where Newton sought to understand the divine order of the universe, his mind was truly ahead of its time. The continuing debate, Newton versus Einstein. Even centuries after his death, Newton's influence remains undeniable. In 2005, a survey of the British public and members of the Royal Society, once led by Newton himself, revealed that most considered Newton to have had the most significant impact on the history of science. However, in a 1999 poll of leading physicists, Albert Einstein was ranked as the greatest physicist, with Newton coming in second. Despite this, Newton's reputation as the ultimate genius in the world of science continues to hold strong. Physicist Lev Landau, a Nobel laureate, even ranked Newton at the top of his scale of scientific achievement, giving him the highest possible score. Landau's ranking system placed Newton above all others, underscoring the immense contribution Newton made to the scientific world. Newton's influence on modern science. Newton's legacy is also embedded in the very units of measurement we use today. The SI unit of force, the Newton, is named in his honor, a lasting tribute to his laws of motion and the universal force of gravity. Woolsthorpe Manor, the birthplace of discovery. Newton's birthplace, Woolsthorpe Manor, remains a historic site where he is said to have made some of his most important discoveries, including his famous insight into gravity. The story goes that Newton was sitting under an apple tree when he saw an apple fall to the ground, prompting him to ask why the apple fell straight down, rather than sideways. This simple moment of curiosity led to the formulation of his law of universal gravitation. The most valuable tooth. In 1816, a tooth that was said to have belonged to Newton was sold at an auction for £730, an extraordinary amount for the time. It was later classified as the most valuable tooth in the world, worth approximately £25,000 in today's currency. The collector's identity remains a mystery, but this auction serves as a testament to how valuable Newton's legacy remains. A man of many dimensions, beyond his scientific achievements, Newton was a man of deep religious faith and a seeker of knowledge in various fields. He spent years studying the Bible, believing that through Scripture he could unlock even greater truths about the universe. While his scientific theories brought him fame, his religious writings often remained hidden from the public eye during his lifetime. Newton's impact on the world cannot be overstated. From his fundamental discoveries about the nature of the universe to the lasting symbols of his genius, his legacy is woven into the fabric of modern science and culture. The name Newton has become synonymous with brilliance, and his influence can be seen in every corner of scientific exploration, from the simplest laws of motion to the most complex theories of the universe. Isaac Newton's life story is more than just that of a brilliant scientist. It is a story of how one individual's curiosity and intellect permanently changed the way we see the world. Even centuries later, his discoveries continue to shape how we understand the universe, and his place in history remains secure as one of the most influential figures of all time.